This is episode 15 of season 2, making it episode actually number 36 when you include the Hollywood special. Party people, where my killer tape at? This is the second part of the two-part discussion I had with my man Zmo Divine Power. The Divine Power. Shout out to you, brother. But check it out as we continue our discussion of Avengers Infinity War. Word.
I like the rhymes.
All of us are born with the miraculous ability to determine the direction from which sounds approach us.
Let us venture into new and uncharted land.
People get shook up, when I'm introduced as God.
You got that good hair, too.
You're the first one out there with a dashiki talking that crap.
It's like a jungle sometimes, it makes me wonder how I keep from going under. It's like a jungle sometimes, it makes me wonder how I keep from going under.
I pull up, hop out, air out, made it look sexy. They won't take me out my element. Nah, take me out my element.
For this episode of Where My Killer Tape At, and this one, shout out to the homie PJ, because she hit me to this. I'm sipping on this Braxton Brewing Company. Shout out to them. Summer Trip. It's a passion fruit Berliner Weiss style ale. And I don't usually do like flavored beers. I'm not a big fan of it. But this one is like perfect because it's not like, because what happens is a lot of times when they try to make flavored beers, it kind of like they put too much sugar in it, and or it comes out tasting terrible. Tastes out like the worst Kool-Aid you ever drank. Like they'll try to make like strawberry. Like for example, I don't like Lagunitas. Those things are nasty. Anyway, shout out to Braxton Brewing Company. This passion fruit joint is just perfect. It's subtle. It's not like hardcore sugary, and it gives you a nice buzz. And that's another thing. A lot of beers that try to put flavor in it, they don't give you a good buzz. So shout out to y'all, man, and thank you, PJ, for introducing me to this. Word is born. That's good. So now what we're gonna do now is we're gonna talk about the predictions. Like, what do you think is gonna happen? How's it gonna unfold? And this goes back to Ant-Man and the Wasp and Captain Marvel movies that are coming up within the year, within the next 12 months. What are your predictions?
Well, I mean, a lot of people are, like most movie viewers, they're a little buttsore about the ending, and I'm just like, all right, well, one, that's just the way this is gonna go. But I always go back to what Dr. Strange said about, like, the 14,600,005 ways that this could have, could have turned out. And he's like, well, how many ways do we win? He's like, one. Well, this might be that one way.
I hear you.
And how? I'm not necessarily sure. I'm thinking this sounds weird, like, but somehow some sort of time travel is gonna have to take place. Because if you notice, like, all the original Avengers are still there. Mm-hmm. So something having to do with them, perhaps maybe some sort of time travel. It might get a little confusing, you know what I mean? But like, it might just be the way. I don't necessarily have like a 1, 2, 3, step plan in regards to like how I really think it's gonna fold out. But something in regards to like the original Avengers, time travel. Who knows? We might even backtrack to like the first movie somehow. You know what I mean?
Because I saw that idea toted online that people were saying, because somebody found a clip of a new shoot with Captain America in his original costume.
Oh, word?
Yeah, they found a clip. I don't know, but I don't know if that's a legitimate clip from Avengers number 1. I don't know if it's a legitimate clip with the part 2 of Infinity War. I don't know. I don't know if it's a clip from the original movie and they was just saying that, but I don't know. To be honest, I think that time travel is an easy out.
Yeah, right. That's
I think
what I'm
it's
saying.
an easy
like,
out. I really think that, and not to mention the fact that, you got to get the time stone. I mean, I'm not saying that you can't travel back in time, but my whole thing is you just got to get the reality stone, right? You just got to get the reality stone to fix everything, because that's what he used. He used the reality stone to do that, and so I think that to get that is an issue. And I'm gonna say this, like the comic book, Nebula is gonna play a big part because she played a big part in this one.
Hey,
and she's actually on Titan with Tony Stark.
Oh yeah, people at work looking at me crazy when I say like, yo, Nebula is important.
Yeah.
Because like up to this point, she's just been kind of like there. You know what I mean?
Yep.
She's been kind of like somebody to beef with Gamora. But I'm like, nah, B, she's important.
She's
real
important. And on top of that, she knows Thanos. Like she knows all his spots. She knows all that. She grew up with him. You know what I'm saying? So like, she has all the intel that you need. You know, so
right.
I think she's gonna play a big part in it. But you know, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. You know, everybody's saying time travel. I just think that's just easy. That's just too easy to be like.
Yeah.
Let's
do you think
you know?
Do you think we're gonna get Adam Warlock at all?
See, I don't, and here's why.
AKA superhero Jesus.
Yeah, pretty much that's what he is. He always resurrects himself. Like,
yeah.
The reason why I don't say that because he needs like a whole movie to be explained, and he's only been in one end credit scene. Like, you know.
Yeah.
Plus, you gotta explain like because he's kind of being used for like an evil purpose right now. You know, not an evil purpose, but a self-serving purpose by that one race of people from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. So you got to kind of like explain that. So I don't. To be honest, I don't even think he's going to be in the second movie. I think he's going to be in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I don't even think he's going to be in the second movie. I really don't think he is. I don't think they're going to introduce any new characters. You know.
Yeah, I guess to me it was just like it might be too late to start introducing new characters. That's why. But I wouldn't necessarily be mad at the notion if they did it right. You know what I mean? Like it would have to really be done.
Oh, I'm not saying it won't be done right. I just
correct.
Yeah. Because so far I trust them with the material. So they haven't done anything to let me down. I just feel like you only got 2 movies. Ant-Man and the Wasp is going to discuss what happened post-Civil War. You might get an end credit scene with the stuff that's happening with Infinity War, right?
Yeah, maybe.
You know, and then like with Captain Marvel, it takes place in the 90s. I believe that the Captain Marvel story, because it's supposed to introduce the Skrulls, I think it's going to set things up for Secret Invasion.
Okay.
You know, I think that's what that's going to do. And we'll probably see an end credit scene in that movie that deals with Infinity War. So I see Ant-Man with an end credit scene dealing with, the Earth is being attacked right now, right? Like seeing that, and then like New York being attacked, right? And then, you know, Wakanda being attacked. I can see that. And then in Captain Marvel, you'll see, you know, the 90s, how she gets her powers, how she deals with the Skrulls. And all that. And then the end credit scene is, you know, dealing with the aftermath of Infinity War. That's going to lead us into the second half of the story.
It's a lot.
You know, because I think what Marvel is doing, just like they did with this movie, they're keeping everything under wraps, right? Because if you notice in the previews, and all the previews, it's never implied that he's going to get all the Infinity Stones. In every scene, he only has 2 Infinity Stones.
Right.
That they
Power
showed
space
him, right?
joint.
Matter of fact, there's even a scene of the Hulk running in Wakanda, and we've never seen the Hulk to that part of the movie, right? So.
Oh shit.
So
damn.
yeah, go back and look at the preview. So they got to keep everything under wraps, and I think they're just gonna tease us. You know, we only gotta wait a year though. We only gotta wait a year. You know.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I like y'all. Well, if anything, I'm excited. I'm excited to really see how this is all gonna unfold. I like going into the theater not knowing. You know what I'm saying? Like I like getting surprised. Like that's to me. I mean, it's the same thing like we're reading the books, man. I like turning the page, not knowing what the hell's you know what I'm saying. You know, ahead of me. I don't want to go in there like Mr. Know-It-All. Even despite what it is that I might already know about these characters and the stories and you know the things that we've read. I like going to the movies and being entertained, being you know what I'm saying, having a fun time, being surprised, having expectations superseded. Like come on, man. Like I think.
But see, as a comic book head, and again, I'm not denigrating non-comic book readers. We're used to waiting.
Okay. True.
We're used to waiting. We're used to issue number 45. You know,
gotta wait.
Read it, and then cliffhanger at the end, and you gotta wait 30 days. And nobody says, "Oh, this is going to be in this scene. This is going to be in that scene." And then you wait till that day, and you get it, and then you read it, and you're like, "Oh, okay." And then boom, the 28th page, boom. You're like, "I gotta wait till the next one." Oh, we have a story arc coming up. It's called this. It's gonna last 5 issues, and you're like, "Wow, you have to." That's 5 months.
Yeah.
You have to wait 5 months for the conclusion of that story. You know, and then they'll have like something they allude to in issue number 49 and then that's a plot point to another story arc. And then it's like you gotta wait for all this stuff to come through and figure it out. So we're kind of used to like waiting. We're kind of used to like being patient and not focusing on spoilers, and really like just, you know, we're gonna be entertained. I know I'm gonna be entertained. That's why I read this comic book. That's why I read this one. That's why I follow this writer, because I know that the next issue he's going to keep me entertained. He or she's gonna keep me reading it. You know, and it's just like, what's gonna happen? I mean, look, Invincible. Oh, Invincible's gonna end on issue 145, and you're like, okay, we're on issue 131. You know, and you're reading it knowing it's gonna end, but deep down you hope that it doesn't. And that's and we're used to, you know, we're used to like this happening, expecting this every month, right?
No, I feel you.
So
that's a real good point, man. Yeah, for sure.
So and that's why people are saying the idea of comic books like the medium is outdated, because most people will expect season 2 of Luke Cage to come on Friday. And you know what I'm saying?
Microwave society, man. People want it now, B.
They want it now instead of like, okay, I'm watching episode 1 this week, then episode 2 next week, and then episode 3 next week, and then
it's like that with a lot of forms of entertainment. You know, you said about music. You know what I'm saying as well.
You're right. Yeah. You know,
so you ain't dropped the album in like 6 months. You're irrelevant.
You know what I mean? Your boy Royce is dropping them too, man.
Yep, son.
He's dropping them, so
yeah, we have to talk about that after this.
Yeah. And it's funny because somebody ran up on me the other day and was like, "Yo, his new album came out." I said, "I know his new album came out, but I'm still digesting Prime 2. I'm still like on track 8 of Prime 2. Like, yo, what'd he say? You know, and they're like, yo, it came out. You gotta listen to it. I said, yeah, let me just finish your Prime 2, man. You know." So
it's for that reason why like the new one hasn't really got that much play, because I'm still listening to the first one. The new one's good, but you know,
yeah, I heard it was good, but I'm still like playing Prime 2 like it came out yesterday. You know?
Yeah, no doubt.
So the last segment is we're gonna talk about, because you know we're both dads, and you actually in the beginning talked about your experience as a kid, how you got introduced to comics, and then now that we're parents, and like how is that introducing you know, our children to the comic book genre and, you know, just geekdom, period.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you right now, this is pretty much why I'm on this planet. like straight up, like I live for the weekends, not how like most people live for the weekends, but I live for the weekends. So I know like me and my daughter are gonna get into some super geeky stuff, and we're gonna wild out for like 48 hours, Saturday and Sunday. You know, we make our normal bookstore runs. You know, we're probably watching a series or something like that. And, you know, since she was little, you know, the first thing to keep her quiet, you know, as a child was the Spider-Man 1967 cartoon.
Wow.
Like it was on Netflix at the time. And, you know, she just wouldn't sit still for nothing, you know. Yeah. But through the Spider-Man cartoon on, and she sat and watched. It sounds like something I'm making up because I wanted to like the stuff that I like.
Yeah. But
I lied to you. I mean, you could ask your mom this. Like seriously, we just threw it on, just on, you know, just trying to see what would happen. So Spider-Man's been her dude since day one. We went to go see the ones with the movies with Andrew Garfield. Like she was like 2 and 4 when those came out. Man, she still remembers. Like she remembers that, but she don't. You know, she remembers what she wants to remember. Like, you know, but that was pretty much her introduction. And now, like, you know, things like, you know, free comic book day, like she looks forward to it. Like, yo, we're just gonna go just swipe, you know, boom. Books are half off. We got, you know, a bunch of books to grab, you know, for nothing. Like she's like, you know, I woke up this morning, she was reading a book in the bed.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying? In the bed, reading a book. I'm just like, yo, this is what it's all about, yeah. Like this is literally what it's all about. Like, and I love the fact that, you know, she'll wake up and be like, you know, just randomly talking about stuff like comic book stuff. We got like our own inside jokes, that we make in regards to like the stuff that we watch. In regards to like her reaction to this movie though, the Infinity War.
Mm-hmm.
Now you gotta realize, like, I told you like before you hit me up, we were watching Age of Ultron because I told she doesn't remember watching it. But to her, like, you know, Infinity War was a bad movie because everybody's gone at the end. You know what I mean? Like,
you know what's funny? Because when I was in the theater and I walked out, she was the first person I thought about. Because I knew she was a Spider-Man fan, and I was like, she is going to be devastated. And I remember talking to you, and I was like, I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. And it's like, cause I know I teared up when he died. Like I'm not a big Spider-Man fan. Like I'm not a big Peter Parker fan. I'm a Miles Morales fan. But I teared up because I felt like if anybody should have lived,
yeah, man,
like Tony Stark should have, dissolved, more so. And then Peter Parker, I expected him to step up, and then boom, And
Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good.
Yeah, I was just like, no, you know what I'm saying? And like, he got a freaking sword put through him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He lived.
He's still here.
Yeah, like, he just took a dump, And,
yeah, but to quote Naomi's like, Daddy, this is the worst Avengers movie ever. You know what I'm saying? Like she just did not like it at all. And I remember before I took her to go see it, like literally, like we're in the kitchen doing something, and she was just randomly, we were randomly talking about geek stuff. She's like, you know what, Danny? I can't wait till Star-Lord and Gamora get married because I'm curious as to what their kids are gonna look like.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like just random like talk like that, and I'm just like, oh crap, she doesn't know she's gonna die. You know what I'm saying? Like I got the heart to tell her. You know what I mean? I'd already seen the movie at that point. You know what I mean? But and she hadn't. So she was kind of in her feelings a little bit, when Thanos was getting the Soul Stone. She had her arms crossed and just mad. Like I thought she was gonna be sad. She was mad.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like angry.
But I want to say something real quick that you alluded to, and this is for all the parents out there. I know that where my killer tape at, we be wilding out, but we take our parenting seriously here. And,
definitely.
And one thing that a lot of parents ask me, because my kids are avid readers, all four of my kids are avid readers, and they'll say, what can I do to make my kid an average reader? And I said, number one, the first thing you could do is read yourself. Like if you read, and it's, kids do what you do. They don't do what they see you do. Say. So
right.
So if you can say you can say eat your vegetables, but if you're not eating vegetables, they're not gonna eat their vegetables. It's plain and simple. Same thing with reading. You can tell them to read all you want, but if you're not reading, they're not going to do it.
Yeah.
Second thing is take frequent trips to bookstores. And I know we don't have Walden Books anymore. We don't, we don't have a lot of bookstores. And there's actually comic book shops are actually a lot more are closing. But take them to the library, take them to comic book shops, take them to free comic book day. The whole point of free comic book day is for literacy. That was the whole reason it was created, to promote literacy. And I know, speaking for myself, and I know I'm speaking for you as well, Zmo, we got into reading because of comic books. Comic books got us into reading. So I always, in my classroom, I always have comics for my students. I always let them hold my trades. I always buy comic books for certain students that like particular characters. It's funny, I have a student who likes Jonah Hex, and I can't stand him, but I can find thousands of copies of Jonah Hex for 25 cents. So I always get him a Jonah Hex comic every time I go. But it's just, that's how you promote literacy, and if you want your kids to read, that's just how you do it. That's just, you do it in that way.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah. We'll always be like, even like when we're sitting there watching something, like I'll have my book out, she'll have her book out, whatever. Like for real. So like we're reading and watching at the same time. You know what I mean? And talking about what's on the screen. Like seriously, like I live for this, man. I really love the fact that I'm able to share the things that I love, with my child.
That's dope. That's dope.
And that she's into. Like I hope that this just isn't like she's 8 now, and then by the time she gets 14, it's all out war on dad and the things that he likes, and like whatever. I hope that we can keep this going like forever.
You will. And what's gonna happen is because this happened to my daughter and this happened to my son, my oldest son and my daughter. Like they started liking things that I didn't necessarily like.
That's cool.
You know what I'm saying? Like they started liking characters and groups and writers that I'm not really a fan of. They started having their own tastes. We still super geek out. We still discuss and debate the movies. Like my daughter's like a big mutant X-Men fan.
Okay.
She hates like me. She hates the movies, but that's
we
her
all
thing.
Do.
When that's her thing.
We all hate the movies.
And then what happens is what's gonna happen is. Like my oldest put me on to stuff that I never would have looked at that blew my mind. Like he put me on The Preacher. My old he's gonna be 24 next month. He put me on The Preacher.
Yeah, I keep wanting to dive into that, but I'm just like, I haven't really gotten the green light about that yet.
It's great. It's blasphemous, and I'm surprised that it was because it had a cult following back in the day, and I never. And the thing is, I never introduced that to my son. But Vertigo has always been cutting edge stuff. Vertigo has always been cutting edge. I think that's where Image got their ideas from. Like, let's be cutting edge.
Right.
And they were always cutting edge, highly, a lot of high critical acclaim. So, but I avoided those when I was young. I avoided the non-superhero stuff. Right. It's not until I got older that I started to appreciate the non-superhero stuff. So he introduced me to that. So it's like there's a lot of stuff he introduced me to that I was kind of like, I don't know, and I tried it and I enjoyed it. And again, my daughter has her own taste, so they, because they get older, they start liking different things, but we always come back to most of the discussions I have with my son. I'm gonna say 70% of it is geek stuff.
Yeah, no doubt.
So
yes. If anything, I look forward to days like that where my daughter comes home and puts me on to something that I don't know about. You know what I mean? Like, each one teach three, man, for real.
Yeah, so that's exactly what happened. And he introduced me to stuff like, you check this out yet? And I go, have you checked this out yet? And then like, he'll call me up and be like, hey, I just saw this and I thought about this. Did you still have that issue? And I'm like, oh, yeah, I got it. Or, he'll be like, I read this book and they literally stole this whole thing from Marvel.
Right.
So like, those are the kind of discussions that we have, and I think it's dope. It develops like any relationship; it just develops into something more complex and bigger. And I think what I love about the thing about comic books that I like, actually, the thing I like about comic book geeks is that we're very analytical. And I think with my kids, it really helped develop that analytical mindset where they take stuff and they deconstruct it and digest it, and I think you're gonna see that happening as well with your daughter. You're gonna see she's gonna be taking just stuff that she sees on TV or she comes across to at a situation, and she's gonna break it down, and you're gonna sit there and you'll be like, wow, like, and it comes from that idea of the medium that we consume, where we had to read something, get the double meaning from it, because you only got 28 pages to tell a story. So the writers have to layer that stuff, and then we had to wait 30 days for the next issue. And think on it, digest it, sometimes read it 4 or 5 times, and then, read the next installment. And I think that really helped develop a mind where we analyze a lot,
Man, I probably never even thought about it like that, but you're absolutely correct. like straight up. Yeah, damn.
So just FYI, you're doing the right thing. And I know I'm biased because I'm a comic book head, but I think it's good that we have these kind of discussions with our kids. And one thing I love about comics is that it introduces a lot of serious issues that we might not have if we didn't have comics.
No, I'll give you that. You definitely are right about that. I can't really think of like any specific topic offhand right now, but like, watching these movies and reading the books, man, has definitely led to some other conversations with me and my daughter, like about like conversations that we need to have. Because she's not gonna just be a kid. You know what I'm saying? She's gonna be a person productive in the world one day. You know what I mean? She needs to walk with certain knowledge so she can apply it. So. You're definitely right about that.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and anything else you want to add on?
Nah, man. I think we probably touched on touched on anything. Yeah, for sure.
Well, Zmo, what I want you to do now is I want you to give everybody your contact information on social media. Where they can find your music, your stuff, your videos, anything like that. You can go ahead and just shoot that out. This is just time for you to sell yourself.
Oh, I bet, yeah. Instagram, ZMO757, ZMO757. You can catch me on Bandcamp and SoundCloud, Zmo Divine Power. You know what I'm saying? ZMO Divine Power. Check the music. It's also on iTunes as well, Spotify, or your other media music outlets. It's out there.
Oh, you on Spotify? Okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah. I got more comment. I kind of don't want to like jinx it, because I'm still working on some stuff.
That's
but
cool.
I
feel bad because like you usually give me previews, like you'll send me stuff, so I'll be like, I got it. I don't actually have to look for it. You know what I'm saying? So when you'll be like, yo, where you get it at? I'll be like, I don't know. Like, hit them up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad you put that information. I'm definitely gonna put it in the show notes as well.
Yeah, it's out there.
So this is gonna be a 2-parter. So I'm gonna put it in the show notes. So thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it, man. Like,
thank you. We need to do this again.
Oh, we will. We'll definitely do this again. Probably I still haven't seen Deadpool, and I still got to see Solo. So
we saw Solo this weekend, man.
Okay, all right. We definitely got to do that. And the reason why I see Deadpool is because my daughter I thought I took my daughter to see Deadpool 1, but I did not. So we're gonna watch that, and then we're gonna watch Deadpool 2.
Yeah, I haven't seen the second Deadpool yet either. It's kind of hard to like get to the movies by myself sometimes. I can't. Naomi's she's only 8. You know what I'm saying? Like, the commercial comes on and she want to see it. I'm just like, nope.
Nah.
Nope.
And it's funny because I was rewatching the first movie, and I was like, there's a reason why I didn't take my daughter to see this. Like there was, because she was like 14 at the time. Like there's a reason why I did not take her to see this.
Right.
And we were watching parts of it, and she was just like, "What'd he say?" And my wife was like, "What'd he say?" And it's just like, I can see why I didn't take her. Like now I see why. So yep. Yeah. So I don't recommend, and it's funny because in the first movie he did make a announcement, a video like, "Hey, don't take your kids to see this." Like he did do that. He did say, "Hey, don't take your kids to see it. You shouldn't be taking your kids to see it." And and there's a reason why. Like there's like a million reasons why.
Oh yeah, for sure. I definitely got to get out to see Deadpool too, and we can talk about Solo later. You know what I mean? But I'll wait after you see it.
So definitely, ladies and gentlemen, this is With My Killer Tape Back featuring the wonderful That Kid Zmo. So we are out. Peace. Yo, shout outs are in order. First up, shout out to Black Thought. I don't know Black Thought like that. He talks to me on Twitter, but I don't know him like that. Black Thought of the Mighty Roots. He just released the album. Shit is dope. It's volume 1. It's about 5 songs. He released it with the 9th one on the production. It's amazing. Definitely check it out. Shout out to my man D, Wushu D. Word is born. He comes through and support a brother. And shout out to everybody that came to my Black Panther watch party for the trivia. Shout out to my boy Imal who won that joint. He destroyed the competition. We got another one coming up, so stay tuned for that. So shout out to all the geeks out there, man, and to all that. And also, I don't know Dan Slott, but shout out to Dan Slott, Spider-Man 800. He wrote probably one of my favorite Spider-Man story arcs, the Superior Spider-Man, where Doc Ock actually switches his mind with Peter Parker, and he's like Peter Parker. It is like dope because I always just like the fact that Marvel kept this idea that Peter Parker's this loser, like this loser geek dude. I could see in high school and I could see like in college, because when you're that young, you still trying to figure out and get your bearings. But when you're an adult and you still like slipping like that, man, I appreciate him giving him a come up and having him go back to school to get his master's and his PhD and all that. So that was dope, man. Shout out to Dan Slott, man. Dope run. Work. And there you go, another episode of When My Killer Tape Back. Next week, we'll be coming back to you live and direct, and just like your mama wanted. And we're going to get back to our regular programming. But yo, shout out again to my man, Zmo Divine Power. Divine Power for that one. If you want to continue the discussion, you just hashtag Where My Killer Tape At. Killer spelled Killa. Also, you can hit me up on the Twitters at Omi's Podcast, OMIS Podcast, or at my usual hauntings, right? Dan Trezomi, at Dan Trezomi, DANTRESOMI. Yo, thank y'all to all my viewers, man. I love y'all. I love you when y'all be DMing me. I love when y'all be sending me stuff and showing me mad love. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart, man. You don't know, man. So once again, this is Dan Trezomi with My Killer Tape Back. Peace.